What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Fresh Cuts, where we talk about the latest film in theaters or on your favorite streaming services. Today, we are talking about the big superhero blockbuster right now, DC's BlackAdam. I am your host, Brett Parker. Joining me, as always, the wonderful Dan and Angela of Day Gaming.
Well, that was aggressive. Gosh.
You never know what you're going to get.
Can't take an eye out, kid.
One of these days just knocks Angela out.
Yeah, he's going to elbow me.
Somebody help her!
I'm like, help her. Don't edit this out, but help her.
Oh, boy. So Fresh Cuts, you know how this goes. We're going to talk about this movie spoiler-free in the beginning, and then once we've run out of things to talk about spoiler-free, we're going to jump into spoilers. But we'll warn you. So if you haven't seen this movie, we won't spoil things before that. And we promise we won't spoil things before we get to the spoiler section, as we kind of slipped up on our last Fresh Cut. But you know what? Shit happens. We keep going.
Does.
But today, we're talking about BlackAdam, which is the newest superhero film. Even though BlackAdam is not considered a superhero, he's considered an anti-hero. Kind of like,
well, in the show, he's a villain.
Yeah,
he's a villain. Like, there's no two ways around it. This isn't like they're trying to turn him into like their Venom, like that cool anti-hero, and like he is a fucking villain. But carry on.
So, this movie was directed by João Colette Serra, who we have talked about on this show when we covered Orphan, because he directed Orphan back in 2009. He also directed a movie that we might have mentioned in our newest episode that comes out on Friday, House of Wax. And he also directed Dwayne Johnson in Jungle Cruise, which came out last year. Which was or this year. I don't remember when that came out. But yeah, he's something like that.
I don't fucking know.
It was an okay time. I enjoyed myself watching that movie. But yeah, they're back together again for BlackAdam, which is like this huge thing Dwayne Johnson has been talking about, and for years he's pretty much been cast for 5+ years. I think. I know that he had talked about it even before he was cast about wanting to be this character. So Dwayne Johnson's a huge Superman fan, but of course, Superman's already kind of a thing in this universe. So he picked the next best thing for himself, and that is BlackAdam. And yeah, it's a movie.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Well, before we get into all that, this movie came out, of course, on October 21st, 2022. It came in at exactly 2 hours, which it didn't really feel that long. I definitely, this was a movie that definitely didn't feel like it was like overstaying its welcome, even though I did sense there were some parts that could have just been removed from the movie completely.
I had one little pacing hiccup when I watched it. I won't go into it. I was confused, but anyway, yeah. But anyway, yeah, it was fine.
Budgeted around $195 to $200 million, which is just so much money. And currently it's at $252 million as of today, which is, it's going to make more. It's still early in its release window, and it's a superhero film, even though it is DC. But Dwayne Johnson also brings in the money. As we stated, Dwayne Johnson, our main character, playing BlackAdam. We also had Aldous Hodge, who played Hawkman. We had Noah Centineo, who played Atom Smasher, Deadpool kind of looking dude. Sarah Shahi, who played, what the hell was her character's name? She was the
Cyclops.
Yeah, Cyclops.
No.
That's Quintessa.
Oh, sorry. I had the wrong one.
Was it Adriana? Was that the main female lady?
Yeah. Sorry. I had the wrong.
We had Marwan Kenzari, who I literally just realized played Jafar in the live action Aladdin. I was like, as I was watching the movie, I was like, I recognize this guy. But who is he?
Yes.
And then looking him up right before we hit record, I was like, oh, okay. Quintessa Swindell, who played, was it Cyclone?
Cyclone.
No. What the hell else has she been in? I feel like I've seen, she was in Euphoria, which is a big show.
I was going to say, she's not been
in
much.
I've seen her in other things, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe she looks like somebody else. We had Mo Amir, who played the brother.
Two brothers.
What was his name? I couldn't remember.
I don't remember his fucking name.
Oh, he was awesome, though.
And
I did actually, of course,
like him. I'm going to say it right now. My favorite person in this movie, Pierce Brosnan, who plays Dr. Fate. I can't wait to talk more about him and his character and just how good he was in this movie. But before that, and the music was done by Lorne Balfe, who we've talked about on this show, as he did the score for Terminator Genisys, which we've covered.
No.
Oh, no. I know, it's not the best movie he's done the score for, but you know what?
This guy.
It's not too bad. Oh, he did the music for the Lego Batman movie, which we've also covered on the show. And Bad Boys for Life. Oh, my God. And Top Gun Maverick. So I guess we've talked about him quite a bit.
And not even realized it.
Oh, my God. It was written by Adam. Can't pronounce your last name. But the only thing that I noticed that this man wrote was due date and maid of honor. And I went, kind of feels like this movie was written by somebody who doesn't have the experience of writing a movie this big. And then the two other writers, Rory Haynes and Sohrab Nashirvani, I can't even see anything that they've done, so I don't know what their background is. Oh, also, we got a cameo from, I'm not going to say the big thing at the end, but we also got a cameo from Amanda Waller.
Yeah. Two cameos, technically.
Why can't I think of who plays Amanda Waller?
I know who it is.
Yeah.
I know who it is, too. Viola Davis. Why?
I was going to say, because I love her.
Listen, people, I know these things, but when we hit record, my brain goes, shutdown mode. It's like, not now!
I second guess myself and click on the phone. I have like 100 tabs open over here.
All right, so let's go around and talk non-spoilers about what we thought of this movie. And then, of course, we'll jump into spoilers once we get finished with that. So, who wants to start today?
I'll start.
All right.
Okay.
Hit it, Dan.
Okay. I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a good movie.
Okay.
Kind of like the first Shazam, which is not his fucking name.
Yes, we know.
Anyway,
stop crying like every
Captain
other fucking
Marvel, baby. Gonna take that banner. Anyway.
He's just gonna keep on with that.
Who cares?
I cares.
We don't.
It's like if they made a Superman movie, they never called him Superman in it. Clark. The movie. Nobody's gonna fucking care. Anyway, Bruce, the movie.
There was a show. Listen, they did a show called Smallville. It was about Superman, and people gave a shit about that show.
I wish they would make a movie called Bruce. And it's a Batman movie, but it was just about the shark from Jaws.
Oh my God, I would be there day one.
That'd be awesome.
Day one.
Anyway, I enjoyed the movie. I thought most of the characters I enjoyed. The villain I did not like. The main villain of the movie.
I don't mean to cut you off, but literally this was just another movie where it was like, really powerful being. Someone has to become someone equal to powerful being, and then they mash into each other. I'm like, I've seen this movie 100 fucking times. All right.
It is very by the book. It is very by the book. That's not just a joke. It's called
slosh.
This is not
Dwayne Johnson is awesome. Obviously, he carries the movie. He's got that charisma that he always has. I think I like him.
Okay, sorry. That's my face telling other things.
It is. I like the brother.
He's funny.
I thought I didn't necessarily like how they treated BlackAdam as a character because of my not extensive but knowledge of the character. But he will never. Well, I can't say that. Hang on, before I get to that point. The special effects were fine. I liked Pierce Brosnan. He was great as Dr. Fate. I liked the introduction of, I like Hawkman. He was cool to have him in there. Special shout out to Atom Smasher for being fucking awesome. He's like, we got to have a Peter Parker-like character. Let's just make it Atom Smasher. Because that's what he reminded me of. He reminded me of just like a knockoff Spider-Man, how he acted in the movie. And Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I had some issues with it. We'll get into it when we get spoilers, but it was a fine movie. It had some little bit of a pacing problem about midway through, but it was all right. I enjoyed it. How about you, wife?
I loved it. I don't know anything about any of the characters, but I loved it. I love Pierce Brosnan. I love Dwayne Johnson. I love Noah Centineo, but I know him from The Fosters.
I didn't think so. I thought some of the characters.
I thought I recognized him from something. I don't know him from that, but I do I mean, probably from seeing a commercial for that show, seeing him.
Who else or what?
I recognized Cyclone, but I don't know where I recognized her from. Like, I just was like, "Oh, you look familiar. Where have you been? Were you in a show where you were a kid?" I don't know.
She only has 7 credits, and Euphoria was her first.
Wow. All right. Maybe she just looks like another actress that I've seen in things. I don't know.
She must see. I didn't look up anybody's. She may be related to someone.
That too.
But yeah, loved it.
All right, you guys ready?
I know. Yeah, I go. I know where this is going, but I'm not gonna hurt my feelings.
So, I thought this movie was a movie. It kind of bored me in spots. I thought that BlackAdam wasn't menacing enough because I know that he is a villain or an anti-hero, whatever the hell he's determined as in the comics. He's very, like, if you look at pictures of BlackAdam in the comics, like, that's a menacing person. Like, Dwayne Johnson is a big man. Like, I wouldn't ever in real life want to walk up to the man and try to start anything. But the fact is like, he doesn't feel like the person who should be BlackAdam. Like, BlackAdam, he just I feel like he wasn't scary enough. Like, I feel like this character should have been scary, and he wasn't. He did not feel menacing, even when he's just murdering a lot of people. It just didn't feel scary to me. And fucking the dialogue in this movie is fucking awful. It's so bad. The son is the worst actor I've ever seen in my life. He is terrible. His every line was like, what am I watching a fucking Freeform movie? Like a TV show from 2007? Like, who? I understand if this is his first role, but it was awful. And some of the dialogue from the heroes themselves, like, to be honest, I wasn't a fan of Adam Smasher. I thought he was just annoying and was like, oh, here's that comedy relief. That wasn't funny. It was just him emanating another character from another from Marvel or whatever. The best part of this movie is Pierce Brosnan as Dr. Fate. He is such a good actor, and he comes in here and he just fucking puts everything out there, and it's so good. And then you have Hawkman, who's like, I'm just gonna be Anthony Mackie and just be fucking or whatever the fuck his name is in the Marvel universe. He literally is just
Falcon?
playing that character. Yeah, he's just playing Falcon. That's what Hawkman is. He's just Falcon. And it's not the fault. I don't think it's the fault of the actor playing him. I think it's just the script. They're literally like, hey, just act like Anthony Mackie as Falcon. And because that's what it felt like to me. The villain, generic, dumb, just dumb. So dumb.
It's kind of telegraphed very early on. You're like, this guy's up to something.
No.
It's just, I mean, I like the the twists that they put in where, it's that, we've seen it before where, like, you think he's a good guy, but then he's the bad guy. But, oh, is he actually a good guy? Nope, he's the bad guy. It was fine. But in the end, it's like, oh, there it is. There's that thing we need. It's with most superhero movies where it's, big. Like I said earlier in this episode, it's main character is very powerful. We need to have him fight someone of the same. He's just the same person. He's fighting himself.
Yeah, it's the evil version.
And it's just beating each other. I guess the final fight isn't that bad because they do incorporate the other characters.
Yeah, it's not just
cool. It's not just them and
BlackAdam and
yeah. But I don't know. I was disappointed, but I'm like, oh well, it's DC. I can't go into these movies feeling, super optimistic that it's going to be something, great. Like when I go into a Marvel movie, I expect it to be really good because Marvel has that track record of having good movies. Maybe not in the last couple movies, but they have a better track record than what DC's doing. Is this like, to be honest, this is probably, would I rewatch this? Maybe. But to be honest, I was kind of just sitting there in the theater like, this isn't over yet. Like, I know I said earlier that it didn't feel like it's runtime, but I think I was just bored. I was just bored with what was happening in this fucking movie. Okay. I just thought it was just meh. Wasn't great. Performances were kind of lackluster. And Black Adam just wasn't menacing enough for me. Like, he just didn't scare me.
I think they used the kid to try.
Oh,
they used the kid to try to. They used the kid to try to dumb him down, and I hated that.
Stop with the sidekick bullshit. Oh, you need a. Oh my god, we'll get into fucking spoilers with that. Oh my god, this kid. It's just gonna be me bitching about this kid the entire episode because he fucking sucks. No offense to the actor who plays him, but god damn. All that money for what? Did you pay the kid $10?
Must have.
Holy shit. All right. Sorry. Breathe. All right. Do we have anything else we want to talk about non-spoilers before we jump into full-on spoilers?
No, I think you nailed it.
All righty. Sorry to bring the mood down.
You didn't bring the mood down for me.
All righty.
Like fighting the...
All right, everybody. We're just going to be jumping into spoilers. So if you haven't seen BlackAdam, make sure to go check it out in theaters and then come back and hang out with us for the rest of this review. If you don't care about being spoiled, then stick around because it's about to get spoilery. So you have been warned. All right. Angela, start us off.
I don't know. I loved it. I even had to leave 3 times to take Sarah to the bathroom.
Yeah, she had to walk me to the bathroom once too. So
I had to hold your hand.
Yeah, I need an adult. Yeah.
And I feel bad because it took me so long to figure out who Pierce Brosnan was in this movie. Like, I didn't know that he was in it. I didn't look up anything before. Only saw the one trailer. I tried to stay away from spoilers. I don't care if things are spoiled for me, but I saw Pierce Brosnan for the first time and I was like, damn, I know who that is. And I'm like, I know.
Being a badass like always.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and then I watched a video. GQ does, they interview actors and they go through kind of like their top billed movies throughout their career. And I watched Pierce Brosnan and his last one he talked about was playing this character. I was like, oh, I mean, I knew he was going to be in it, but I was like, oh. He was the person I was most excited to see in this movie. It wasn't even Dwayne Johnson, even though I do like Dwayne Johnson, even though I feel like he plays kind of similar. He just plays himself in movies. But I get excited when I see him in movies because I think he's a fun actor. I don't think he's a good actor. I think he's a fun actor to watch.
He's got the charisma, man. That's what does it.
All right.
But yet you wouldn't go to his face and say that. I'm just kidding.
Oh, fuck no. I mean, it's the same thing. I wouldn't go up to Mark Wahlberg and tell him, oh, you can't read Mark Wahlberg. He's way smarter than me.
He's like, here's a book, Mark. Use it as a doorstop.
He's like, where do you? It's like, how much you make a year? It's like, that's none of your business, Mark Wahlberg.
But Mark Wahlberg is not the stature that Dwayne Johnson is. I wouldn't want to walk up to him. Be like Kevin Hart walking up to him. Like,
Mark Wahlberg and Dwayne Johnson have been in a movie together, and it's actually pretty good. Called Pain and Gain.
Yep.
I've not seen it. No. Anyways, I loved all of the costume design. I loved Black Adam's suit.
So they ruined it in the second half of the movie.
But shush. Just all the symbols that were on it, like, there was a lot of care gone into his suit.
Was that thing on him for real?
I'm pretty sure it was.
How the fuck does he get in and out of that thing? That's gotta be awful. That's a lot of KY jelly going in there. Fucking Vaseline.
It's probably the same way they did what's her face, Olivia Newton-John's outfit in Grease. They had to sew it on her zipper broke and they had to sew it on her.
R.I.P.
It's like, hope you don't have to go to the bathroom.
Yes. Hope you don't need to
Rip the-
breathe.
Rip the crotch open.
And I liked how they went back and forth between. Stop it.
I was talking about going to the bathroom. God, he's the one twisting my words.
I said nothing.
It's the face.
That's why I don't look at him. When you two are.
I look down when I laugh. I don't want to look at you guys. It just makes it worse.
The way they went back and forth between him being BlackAdam and him being Teth Adam, where he was not as muscular.
Yeah, they had the body double.
I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool.
Kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, this looks weird. I'm just so used to him looking the way he looks. I mean, that body type was like Scorpion King days back in the early 2000s before he became a fucking monster. Like, he's just so big.
No, I like the opening where she calls him and he like just disintegrates everybody. I thought that.
Oh, he fucks everybody.
That whole thing where he grabs the one guy and he just
that's my
turns
favorite.
to ash.
That is my favorite. Like, anytime he's on screen, that is my favorite. With him with the cloak on, like he's got the hood up and he's just fucking everybody up. That was what I wished he was for the majority of this film. And then kind of you have that change at the end where he becomes kind of the hero, where he saves, teams up with everybody. Yeah. But yeah, once he lost the cloak and it was just the suit with nothing, I was like, I don't like this look. He's not menacing. And he's supposed to be. And even his dialogue, I'm like, this is a dude who lived 2,000 years ago? Or in ancient times? 5,000 years. Sorry, he was, that's right. Yeah. He was asleep for 5,000 years. So this man, and he's just speaking perfect English, just like talks like me and you. Like, there's no accent. There's no like him speaking. I know he speaks in whatever tongue it is, the language he uses, but it's like, he's just talking like this dude's just cosplaying as BlackAdam. He's not actually BlackAdam. And I'm like, this just throws me off, man. I don't know.
I didn't know if it was part of his superpower repertoire.
Yeah, I understand he's a fucking super being, so.
Yeah, because since he gets all of us is based on the ancient gods, more ancient gods than what Shazam is. Yeah. So he's even based on old gods as well. So
right. Sorry, keep going.
Oh no, you were carrying on.
Oh, sorry. I figured we just throw things out there and we'll just discuss them.
Okay. So first off, DC, stop shitting on your legacy heroes. I fucking hate that. I.e., Dr. Fate. Even though he's awesome in this movie, I hate what they did at the end of the movie, because we're talking about spoilers, right? We already did that.
Yes.
Yeah. Why did he have to die?
Yeah, I hate that they had to kill him off. Dr. Fate is obscenely powerful. He's been around since the 40s. He's an old ass character. Same for Hawkman, another old ass character. And I don't mind him being like the status quo upholder. And yes, guys, for people who don't know that are just Marvel viewers, Hawkman has been around since the 40s. The Falcon didn't appear until the 60s, so he's got like 20 years on the guy. But yeah, Dr. Fate's a great character. I'm glad they had the casting they did, and he did a great job. Pierce Brosnan was awesome on screen. Like, even when he wasn't in the costume, and as the costume, he looked fucking awesome.
That's why I said I loved all the costuming. Whoever designed, loved it. All the detail. It's just the little things.
Yeah, Dr. Fate was definitely well designed.
Of course. Yes. Of course, BlackAdam is also another old villain. He's been around since 1945. It was
wow,
the Marvel Family #1 from 1945. So he's a very old hero villain. Sorry, because Shazam or Captain Marvel was from 1939. Wiz Comics #2. But anyway, the thing I don't like though is it's hard to have BlackAdam and not have Shazam.
Sorry, every time that gets said, all I can think of is not Shazam.
You think of
Andy Griffith.
Andy Griffith.
Shazam!
Shazam! Well, he was really popular at that time.
I know.
So that is fair. It's when Foss was still around.
It's catchphrase.
So I know they can make it work because they made a Joker movie without Batman, but Joker has way more precedence than Black Adam. So it's just hard when you have a character that's literally the evil version of said character and not have, Captain Marvel in it.
I mean,
like,
they made a Venom movie without Spider-Man. Not saying
I know
they're good movies, but like they did it. They made a lot of money.
I understand. It's
no,
just,
but I totally understand. Like the fact is, like you have and you already have that character established. So you can make this Black Adam movie. Why not bring in Shazam or whatever the hell? Like, do they ever actually call him Shazam, or does he just say the word to transform?
No.
Even Shazam himself.
Yeah, he can't because he would transform.
Yeah.
That's why he had a different name. He was Captain Marvel. He just said Shazam because Shazam's the wizard. And it also is an acronym. Exactly. It's all yeah, because it lapsed. The copyright lapsed after Fawcett went under and DC bought him out, and they never renewed it. And then Marvel renewed it in the late 60s, or they took the copyright in the late 60s and they never let it go. So when they brought back Shazam, DC did in the mid 70s, they just called him Shazam. In the comics, inside the comics, they still call him Captain Marvel, but any advertising is Shazam.
So is this a similar origin to Black Adam's actual origin in the comics?
It's close.
Like, does he transform via the Shazam thing?
He does. See, big problem. I can complain about this. Great. Okay, so in the comics, in the original Golden Age comics, he was picked by the Wizard back in the day to be Shazam, or to hold the Shazam moniker, right? To be Captain Marvel. Yeah. Well, he was corrupted by the power, evil, and they banished him. Banished him to some far off place or somewhere, whatever. I don't remember what excuse they had in the Golden Age. But that was what they did in the 70s, and they brought him back. He was banished to the other side of the universe, or something like that. But then when they redid him, because DC Comics has rebooted like 40 times, it was a similar origin to where it was his nephew. That wasn't his son, like in the show. It was his nephew that saved him. That he was going to be executed or something, and his nephew saved him. He was in prison, and then he was given the power of Shazam or Captain Marvel, whatever. Shazam would be Shazam, and then Adam Teth killed his nephew to get the power, because he can share the power. To get the power because he felt his nephew wouldn't be able to do it because his nephew was too kind-hearted and too nice, and he wouldn't go in there and just kill everybody.
So there it is. It is. It just shows that he is more evil in the comics because he kills his own family to take a power where you just don't feel that in this movie.
It is, and I hate that because it starts off like it's going to be that way, and you have like this. It's interesting. You have these different sides. You have the people that are native to this region that are like, yeah, fuck them, let him go off and kill everybody and be the savior. Then you have the heroes on the outside that are all black and white about everything. And then you have this kid. It's like, oh no, you got to be a good guy. I'm like, no, he's not. That's not how he is as a character. And it's going to lessen the impact if we ever get a Shazam versus Black Adam film. Because he's supposed to be the fucking bad guy.
And we're getting another Shazam movie too next year. And Black Adam will probably show up at the end. Like in a post-credit scene, like, well, this is where the third film's going to be. Or even if it's Black Adam 2, because I know they're already writing the sequel to this movie.
And I'm not happy about that movie. When we watch it, I'll bitch about that one too. But as much as I love the character, I'm not excited for it.
But the thing is like we're still diving into this universe that people, like a lot of people still want. They want this because this is still considered the Snyderverse. Like this is still connected with everything that's gone on before.
Yep.
And it's like, I thought this wasn't working. I thought this wasn't working out well. Like I thought we were trying to start something fresh. And now with James Gunn coming in to take over for DC Film, like, are we going to see something fresh, especially now that he's in charge? Or are they good? Like, why continue this? And like, they keep announcing these movies and it's like, but what are we doing?
I understand.
Like DC is just never going to, like, they are just trying so hard to even be the slice that Marvel is, and they're just not going to do it because they keep making. I feel like they're just making half-ass movies. It's like the heart just isn't in this.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well, I enjoyed like of all. I haven't watched very many of the DCU movies, but all the ones that I did enjoy was, there's some of them I did like, but I loved the first Shazam movie. But I'm biased as fuck. It's the same with this movie. But I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, dude. It's like they're just throwing shit at the wall, hoping something sticks.
Yeah,
that's literally what it feels like. But back to the movie. I'm sorry. I'm digressing from the film or driving the conversation elsewhere. Another problem I have with this movie is when they originally fought Black Adam, or one of the times they fought him, is they got him to say his name. That's the thing. If he says his name, he reverts back, right? To just being regular old Teth Adam. Well,
see, I missed that.
The dumb thing that they did in this movie, which fucking pissed me off because I was hoping this is how the Shazam versus Black Adam film was going to end, is when he says it in the books and such, is he instantly ages 5,000 years because he's been transformed. His body's been in a stasis of time. So the moment he says Shazam, he ages that 5,000 years and fucking turns to dust. That's what needed to happen at the end of the movie, and they fucking wasted it.
How does he come back?
They figured that's comics, dude. People come back for all sorts of bullshit reasons.
I mean, comics can do that, but like film, a lot more people I feel are nitpicking at that. They're like, well, how the fuck does that work? Oh, I mean, there'll be some sort of fucking magic that'll be like the dust forms back into a man, and then he says, "Oh my god."
No. Some villain will collect the dust and
snort it like cocaine.
They'll have Mr. Mind. Mr. Mind will listen. There is listen. You think like wild Marvel shit? If you didn't watch Shazam, which I don't think you've seen it, have you?
Mr. Mind shows up at the end of Shazam, right?
Yes, he's a fucking talking caterpillar with a voice box and a fucking pair of glasses, and you can't see without him. He's a great character. He would bring him into existence. I assure you, take that dust and break it down and bring back Teth Adam. I love.
Yeah, I remember seeing. I remember seeing
him.
That at the end of Shazam, going, "The fuck is that?"
I have,
and then everybody on the internet was like, "Mr. Mind."
I have an old. This is from War era, like 42, 43.
Like actually
19. Yeah, this is original. Wait, what's this? 28. God, yes, this is like an original 1942, 1943. It's like the second appearance of Mr. Mind.
Wow.
I have a few Golden Age. They're not in like great condition, but I like it. Golden Age shit's awesome. Age. Oh yeah. Anyway, no, but I'm saying is they figure some BS reason to bring it back. And believe me, with DC's track record, nobody would give a fuck. Like they bitch about it either way. They don't care. Yeah. And in the middle, I felt there was the lull, like the false climax, which will be based on what I was talking. But where they finally convince him, which I think this is really fucking stupid, where they convince him to do, say Shazam and lose his powers, and they lock him up in that prison underwater. I was like, oh, I guess the movie's ending. Did you think so too?
No,
I'm sure.
No, okay. I knew they were going to do this stupid shit. I knew they were going to do this exact thing. They were going to lock him away, and then, the fucking bad guy's big and powerful. We need him back. After we just fought him 14 times, and then finally got him to say his goddamn name. Like, what? Yeah. Why? Let's lock. Can you also tell me how the fuck physics work where water somehow is sideways and doesn't fucking flow into this goddamn place?
I agree. How did he swim that far up? He'd be dead. Like they were down in the water.
I don't know, Mo. I mean, I guess I need to expand my disbelief when we're talking about a superhero movie, but what the hell is this?
Only so far.
Viola Davis literally just collecting a paycheck. Like, I'll play Amanda Waller again. Just give me some money there, DC. Like, she's just there, man. She was probably there for like 2 hours to record her shit. Like even the end credit scene.
Love her.
I love her too. She's so good. I'm not trashing Viola Davis, but like she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
It's okay. The movie.
She's a great Amanda Waller, but
yes.
Yeah. What did the lady say when they brought him in? Somebody sends her regards. Was it
Waller sends her regards?
I had a little one talking on the other side, and I was like, missed it.
I was hoping they would have showed more villains like in there, not just him. I was like, come on, dude, there's your chance to like showcase some shit.
The fucking CG on this villain when he turns into Sabak.
Oh, Sabak,
it looked terrible. It looked off. It looked like fucking the same. Like they just took the model from what's his name, the bad guy from Justice League. Who was the bad guy in Justice League? Steppenwolf. It looked like they took his model from the shitty Joss Whedon version of the movie, the first version, and they just painted him up to look like the Sabak dude because it looked awful. I was like, oh my God. Because the visual effects actually look good in this movie. Like when Atom Smasher gets big, I mean, I don't know how they filmed that. I don't know if they had to have used CG for that, but like everything looked pretty good. There was some scenes that looked a little iffy, but when you're using this much special effects, you're gonna have those iffy moments. But once I saw this fucking Sabak dude, I'm like, wow. Did they run out of money? Did they run out of the $200 million budget to not make the model of this dude look somewhat good? Yikes.
I didn't know like no investment in that character at all.
Oh, it was such a terrible payoff. Because to be honest, I think the buildup was pretty cool with that character. You know, I mean, yeah, we've seen it before in movies where it's like he teams along with somebody who knows where this artifact is that he needs. And I kind of put 2 and 2 together when I was like, man, he kind of looks like the king they showed in the flashbacks because it's the same actor who plays the king. And did you like though that they had to hide the Rock in the beginning of the movie so that you didn't know that the kid wasn't the Rock? You're like,
yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Thanks,
movie. I thought the whole crown of Sabak, like that whole like arc, like that whole plot could have just
went away,
just fucked off. Yeah. Like outside of it being like a reason for some characters to be there, they could have thought of some other bullshit reason.
Yeah.
But like just have it like, okay, Black Adam comes in, he's a bad guy. They're like, oh wait, you should be a good guy and protect us. He's like, fuck you, why would I do that? And he's like, blah blah blah, excuse, do it. And then like he just eventually is just like, fuck these people, I'm gonna do whatever I want, and just became the bad guy he's supposed to be. And then the movie would have been like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it would have. The first moment though where I went, are you fucking kidding me, was the scene in the cave where they finally find the crown, and then the military, whoever's took over, Kondak.
Yeah, insert nameless bad guy organization.
Yeah, dude, the main bad guy, the bald dude with the tattoo on his face, dude, he's awful. I don't know if his dialogue was 80 yard, but what the fuck is that, man? Dude, like it was terrible. And then you're like, oh, nothing could get worse than that. And then the kid shows up, and you're like, oh no, this fucking kid. And he was terrible from the first time you see him until the last time you see him. It's just bad writing. It's bad writing. This character did not need to be in this. This gotta pump, doing the little symbol thing, and I was like, it didn't need to be in this. This kid did not need to be in this.
No, I agree.
He was just a waste of space. Other than the fact that like he gets kidnapped and the mom is like, I gotta save my son.
It's just like an excuse. I'm like, okay, and
it's awful. Like his dialogue and everything that he does in this movie is just bad. It's just bad. It really is. And I'm sorry to the actor or whoever played him, but boy, it's just, I don't know if I've seen worse acting in quite a while. Is that who that was? Was it that body? Is that the one who played the kid? I can't even remember his name because I just didn't care because he was terrible.
I don't know how to say his last name.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't want to sit here and trash too hard on a kid, but it's like, holy crap. Well,
he was in the newer Babysitters Club TV series.
Who else fucking
a million little things?
Who else fucking auditioned for this movie? Clearly, no one.
Okay.
Role.
When at the end of this, I will recommend what I think is a very good Black Adam movie to watch. We're all set up.
Animated, right?
It is 100%.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, I agree. Like, they just didn't make him menacing enough. He's just not his character. Like I mean, I liked him. I still felt he was enjoyable because I wanted to see Black Adam on the screen. Because he's a cool bad guy. He's a nice antithesis character. But it's just, I don't know. Plus, his costume looked better in the beginning when it's all kind of like almost like tattered and dirty, and
Yeah,
like the
with like
lightning bolts.
there's no gold. There's not a lot of gold left in the Thunderbolt.
I like that. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. And they're like, then he's all like crisp and clean later with his little booties. And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Let Captain Marvel keep the fucking cape. You don't need no damn cape, sir.
like I said, the best look he had was when he first gets summoned. And that is
I love the cloak.
To be honest, that is my favorite part of the movie, period. Is
the
that
cloak? It's a great
scene.
part. Yeah, it's good. Summoning sickness. Go ahead, what?
No, they need to give him the power where he can make it go away and come back as needed. Like, he could just make it appear.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
As needed. So, like, if he's talking to somebody and he's not, like, fighting or whatever, he could just be in, like, Dr. Fate. He was at a suit.
He's just a badass dude. Dr. Fate's so fucking cool, dude.
He's pretty.
He's so fucking.
I mean, he's Bond, and he still looks damn good.
Oh, hell yeah.
Do you know, the one thing I noticed in this movie is, of course, this is the first, one of the first introductions on screen of the JSA, the Justice Society of America. Of course, they just called him the Justice Society, except for on the cloak that he gives the kids, it's the Justice Society. What's wrong with saying the Justice Society of America? I don't know. Apparently, it's a bad thing. Whatever.
Try not to say America too much.
Oh, God, no. Anyway, so I thought that was cool. They brought them in. That was a reference because Dr. Fate was an original member, and so was Hawkman was also an original member of it. So that was a cool little Easter egg homage if you're a hardcore comic book fan. I also, like I said, I like the brother, the electrician guy.
Yeah, he was funny.
He's Kareem. I don't know.
He was entertaining. He was the other comic relief dude.
I thought he was the best comic relief of this movie because everybody else just seemed like they were trying way too hard.
Oh, well, I will admit, Dr. Fate did have a few funny lines about sarcasm.
Oh, no, but his was different, though.
Yeah,
because he is a more serious character.
Yeah.
And so, like, his wasn't just, like, cracking jokes here and there. Like Atom Smasher was, he had to play that fish out of water type of character, but it was still just too goofy for me.
That's fair.
I understand what they're trying to do because DC has been, they've been criticized in the past with a lot of their movies with them being too dark and there's not enough humor in it. And, that's what Marvel does. Even though they have those dark spots, you can have the humor. But sometimes I feel like DC is just they're like, oh, we heard you guys. And they just force too much unnecessary shit. And you're like, whoa, who is writing these? Oh, wait, people I don't know. People who wrote two comedies.
Yeah, so that's what Shazam's like, because it was a little more lighthearted, but I thought they balanced a little bit better. With the character, it makes more sense.
I liked the first Shazam. I thought it was a really good origin story.
But it was easier for him to be funny because he was a kid. He's a kid. And then there's just this fucking asshole that's a kid too, but I don't like him. He's not as likable.
It's just the performance of the kid in this movie. I feel like if the actor put a better performance in, it would have been fine, but I feel like he was reading off of cue cards the entire time. Like he did not know his lines. He was just like, "You need to be the hero." Who are you looking at right now? Who are you talking to? What is happening?
Why does he skateboard all the time?
I mean, cool tricks, bro. Like,
but like when he's trying to be quiet, I'm gonna skateboard. Is that quieter than walking? Is it quieter than walking? No. Those wheels make noise. Dude, like they're hard plastic.
The scene where BlackAdam, he got hurt and he's sleeping in the bed. He wakes up and he's just walking through walls, and then he floats down the staircase, and the kid is following him, talking about him having a catchphrase and all that. I hated it. I hated all of it. Cut that shit because it was stupid and it took like 10 minutes. Oh my God. I've seen movies where this exact scene happens. We don't need this in every superhero. He's not a superhero. Stop it.
Yeah, let him be who he is. Don't let the current time taint him. Let him be the villain. Let him be of the old times.
I want him to be evil. I want him to not become a good person at the end. And that's how it always has to turn out. Like, stop it. Like, they did it with Venom. At the end of Venom, it was just Venom fighting Venom. And it was like, oh, Venom, a good guy now? You're like, the motherfucker eats people. Like, what do you mean?
Well, here's so a much better interpretation of this character is he has bestowed the power of the gods in the same way Captain Marvel is. Different set of gods, but it's the same concept. he has a god complex because he literally has the power of the gods. In one of the other movies, they're always trying to say, hey, what are you doing? Don't kill people. And he's like, why should I feel bad for these regular people? Do you feel bad when you step on an ant? These people are beneath me. That's how he should be.
Yes.
He is
evil.
He is evil, and by all rights, that's how he's supposed to act. I know, Dwayne Johnson, they wanted to make him more, I guess, likable, but don't do that. Just make him a fucking asshole.
Make him
evil.
Like you want to build him up to be the ultimate villain. Make him. You can make BlackAdam be the fucking Thanos of the DC universe for a bit. I know you have Darkseid and all that shit, but who fucking cares right now? Okay. You could have BlackAdam be that first like big bad of the DC universe and like the fact that at the end credit and we get the suit, we get fucking Henry Cavill back as Superman. I'm like, fuck yeah. Except for the fact he's not wearing the black and gray suit he wears in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I was like, come on, man. There would have been a great opportunity for BlackAdam to say something about it since his suit's black as well.
Like those are my colors, bro.
He had and did you notice that they played the Superman theme from the Donner films?
I heard about that. I didn't pay attention, but somebody mentioned it.
And people were all like, why wouldn't you play the Man of Steel theme? It's like, shut the fuck up. Please.
It's an homage, dude.
Just man.
Well, okay, that's another thing.
Richard Donner died. They paid tribute to him.
You go.
That was I'm guessing is the reason behind them doing it.
I'm glad we got to see him on screen without a disappeared mustache, which is fucking awesome.
Legitimately, we really need to do like a commentary track on the Whedon fucking Justice League with the fucking terrible fucking lip.
It's the only time I'll watch it.
Great.
So, interesting fact, fun fact. So, for those of you that don't know, because I did change these characters a little bit, Captain Marvel, BlackAdam, Shazam, the whole thing, was just a blatant ripoff Superman. Like 100%, if you didn't know, he is a 100% ripoff. He didn't have lightning powers and shit like he does in the new movies and stuff. Originally, he was a 100% copy of Superman. And DC sued them all the way up into the 50s when they just had to close their doors and they couldn't compete. Because Captain Marvel was outselling Superman. At the peak of the Golden Age, Captain Marvel was outselling Superman comics.
It's because Superman's boring. Superman is one of my least favorite heroes because he's boring. Because of the fact that he is invincible, pretty much. Except for Kryptonite or whatever.
Yeah, fair.
I'll get hate for that, but I don't care.
I agree. Though.
I will say there are some really, really good Superman stories that most people don't know about.
I have read many Superman comics.
Yes, there are some very good ones and I agree for the most part. It's hard to make a character invulnerable in the way he is relatable. Well, they could do that with Billy Batson and Captain Marvel because he's a kid, and most readers at the time were kids, so he was super relatable. But then when they brought him back in the newer stuff in the late 2000s, they changed him. But anyway, the point is, BlackAdam would whoop the fuck out of Superman, and I'm going to tell you why. Because if they keep up with the books, Superman, another weakness he has, is he is weak to magic. If you didn't know that, and with BlackAdam and Captain Marvel's abilities are magic-based, he would beat the fuck out of him. Just saying. But it was good seeing Cavill back, by the way. It was really
it was great. I like the whole thing. I did not like the interaction between BlackAdam and Waller at the end where she's like, I'm going to send a bunch of people. I was like, I didn't like that whole thing. Like, you know how fucking powerful this man is. You know. Yeah. And did Hawkman and all the other people not tell you how powerful he was? Like, come on, stop it.
And that's the thing though. It's like they did all this stuff and they're like, oh, he's a good guy, he's relatable, he helped out, and then it was like, let's do this thing at the end and make him a dick again. It's like, where's the balancing act?
Did you Did you like the recreation of the pose on the throne at the end when he sits on the throne? He recreates one of like the most. I think it's like, isn't it a cover of one of the comics where it's like him like sitting on the throne? He sits very like relaxed on the throne. I thought it looked pretty cool. Sorry, keep going.
No, it's all good. No, that's
how does it feel? Wrong.
I like that should have been like right, and then he fucking zaps and kills everybody. Who he saved, and you're like, okay, fuck yeah, that's what I wanted, baby.
Yeah. Exactly.
I will say this. I think it would be really cool if when they do whatever they're doing with BlackAdam, that he becomes more like the police and starts killing people for just doing stealing or.
You mean like some of those dystopian futures where they have like a dictator and stuff, and it's just like those hyper aggressive police that just you jaywalked, it's just like zap fuckers.
Like
But yeah, but then it would.
Yeah, pretty much.
He would still be an anti-hero.
Like I guess
because people would start not liking him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're not a hero anymore.
Well, I mean, they even do that because like heroes don't kill people. Like anyway,
Batman killed a bunch of people.
back in the day, he really did.
You can't beat the shit out of somebody and them not die.
The Batman not killing people thing is so dumb. I hate that. That was literally that was a Christopher Nolan thing. And I know that even in some, I even know in the like animated series, he even states that he doesn't kill people. But it's very selective because like Michael Keaton murders a lot of people in Batman and Batman Returns.
Yeah.
And then Ben Affleck, he fucking has machine guns on the fucking Batmobile. I mean, so does the Burton ones, but like this motherfucker's just going through, just mowing people down with a machine. Like it's so people just need to shut.
If you played the Dark Knight game, you beat the shit out of a bunch of people. They're gonna die.
You're definitely putting people into comas, and they're
of course the general consent. But Batman's not really a white and black guy anyway, so. He doesn't like see everything like it's either good or evil. Like he understands like that's not how the world works. He believes in entropy.
Yeah.
There'll always be disorder in some way, shape, or form. It'll never go away. There will always be bad guys. There will always be bad people.
If you kick the shit out of someone enough, they're gonna die.
So I liked Cyclone. I thought character.
Yes.
I did expect an Atom Smasher to kind of get into a relationship at the end, but I'm happy they didn't.
Yep.
I feel like it was starting to like something was going to happen, but then it didn't. I was like, you know what? I appreciate that because I feel like that's what most people were expecting with the relationship. Like they could just be really good friends. They're just really,
they don't
really.
Cool. Everybody needs to be in love.
I hate when movies do that. Stop making people fall in love in superhero movies.
I know.
Damn it.
Hawkman. I could not get into that character. Like I said before, I feel like they literally just were like, act like Anthony Mackie as Falcon in any of the movies he's been in over there. And it's like, no, let this guy be a completely different character because he looked cool. And I thought like the fight scenes with him were cool. But like anytime he had dialogue, I was like, oh God, shut up.
He was there like old school moral compass, like good, bad.
But I don't know. It's just
he got a lot of money though. Did you see that mansion?
Yeah, isn't there a hawk?
Holy crap!
Isn't there a hawk girl or hawk woman too? Is it like his sister or something like that?
I don't remember the exact relation. They're not from Earth.
Oh, okay. I take it that's why he originally. I take it that's why he was able to just take all of that damage without.
Oh yeah, he's not human.
Happening to him.
I mean, I this is like a 90s-ish, 80s, 70s origin. I don't know about his golden age. He could be a fucking human. Like Golden Age Green Lantern, Alan Scott.
I love the running gag with the BlackAdam running through walls.
Just walks through walls.
He just walks through the walls.
You ever use doors? He's like, yeah, that's how you get from one room to the other.
Yes, fair point. I can fix that. I'm an electrician. Like zaps his fucking TV.
The first time he walks through the wall and he just keeps walking with the couch and the brothers on the couch and he's just like,
what's up with the good, bad, and ugly randomly? The Mexican standoff.
That scene was so
I hated it.
Dumb.
I hated it.
Why was that in the movie?
And the fucking random goon?
Yeah, who's gonna do that?
What? He watches TV one time and
that scene. I literally just sat there in my seat like, we're doing this, and it takes 2 minutes.
That's what I said. I was like, I pointed out, I was like spaghetti westerns. I was like, it's like The Man with No Name or something, but it was a good, bad, and ugly. And I was like, why the fuck is this? It makes no sense.
Like this annoying motherfucking goon is just standing there. He literally just watched another goon smoke BlackAdam with a fucking baton, and the thing bends around his head. But he thinks he has a chance to beat this man, and then just gets fried.
He should just clothesline his head off. I'd like to see that. I want to see that in a movie. Superhero people, make that happen. Somebody get their head clotheslined off.
Or him throwing people. Oh, so just launching them in the air.
I mean, some of the lines were funny of the fact that like he's like, I'm not gonna, we got to make sure we don't kill everybody. We got to leave some people so we can talk to them. And then he like brings the guys up and just drops them. I was being sarcastic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But the scene in when Black Adam first shows up in the cave and the main goon, like the main guy of that group, is just like, all right, you go in there, and then they just keep turning and going, the boss says you do it, the boss says you do it, and it gets down the line where the last guy just looks over, there's no one there, and then he goes up and just gets fucking fried. He like Black Adam just literally incinerates him. No, I hated the that whole setup. I hated the whole thing where it's
the
like
setup
going
was
down
dumb,
the line.
but him dying, was cool.
Like I said, everything about that was cool. You don't see his face. I mean, you know who it is, but you don't see his face. And just the shit he does, it's just like, there's some fucked up kills in this movie, to be honest. You're like, oh, damn. Oh, I was not expecting that, but okay.
I like the grenade.
There was supposed to be more.
Oh, shit.
Yes, that was great.
Apparently the movie was it? Maybe it wasn't this movie. I was thinking of another movie. I think some of the kills they had to tone down. Theatrical. Yeah,
it was
originally got an R rating
for the death scenes.
Yeah, so they had to tone them down a little bit. I was like, "Fuck it, leave it."
Right?
I mean, overall,
it's all right.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it. Like, I have one more thing to say. Once we're like, I think I've said all I need to say about this movie, but
I'll say what you got to say.
Well, I was gonna say when we give our final conclusion.
Oh, okay. Well, here it is, Dan. Set up for you.
Okay, here we go. One bit of it's going to be final conclusion. One bit of trivia. If you want to watch a much better Captain Marvel's Black Adam Superman movie, go get. It's an old animated film. It's a collection. It's from 2010. It's called Superman and Shazam, or Superman Shazam: The Return of Black Adam. Go watch that. It's on Blu-ray. It's not very expensive. It's probably streaming somewhere in the DC, whatever it is. But it's 4 films condensed down to like 15, 20 minutes apiece. They're really fucking good. And the first one is, of course, Shazam, Black Adam, and Superman. And a really interesting connection is the guy who voices Black Adam in that. I got his name here. I always forget this fucking guy's name. But he's from an awesome movie that he was in The Rock with. It was Arnold Vosloo, who played Imhotep. In the first two Mummy movies. Yeah. He voices Black Adam in that, which of course really cool. Wasn't technically on screen with what was in the movie, the second Mummy Returns with The Rock.
That's really cool.
So he's an awesome, way fucking better Black Adam. The movies are great. There's a bunch of little shorts, and there's a really cool one that pays homage to horror films from the 70s and 80s. Has an awesome 70s, 80s synth soundtrack. I'll send you a link. But look into that. It's a great movie. And the movie was okay. I still enjoyed it.
Do you have any final thoughts, Angela?
He's upset there weren't more titties.
Yeah, no titty shots in this one.
No.
Not even any Black Adam titties.
Uh,
Well, I don't know if he ever shot without his thing. Outside of when he was not buff.
Well, technically it wasn't Dwayne. That was
true.
It
was a fake rock. It's petrified wood.
Yeah, I just, this movie was, I mean, I get it. It's the origin of a character, and to be honest, I feel DC doesn't know how to do very good origin stories.
Yeah.
I mean, Wonder Woman I thought was good.
Mm-hmm.
Shazam was good.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like they just went in a weird direction with this one, where it was like, this is not what this character is supposed to be. And I don't like that. I don't like when you're taking a character like that and just completely changing him for the fact that you want him to look better than what his comic counterpart looks like. And you're like, come on, man. Show some respect.
Yep.
The performances were hit and miss. I mean, I to be honest, I feel Dwayne's performance is very just like dry. Like, I feel like there's really not a lot of emotion with him, and this is definitely one of his weaker performances, like dialogue wise, like interacting with other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it for the character, but it still just didn't land for me. Pierce Brosnan, he steals the show. He is the best part of this movie. I would rewatch the movie just to see everything that he's in. It sucks that he dies. I feel I wish that premonition just came true and fucking Hawkman was the one that died and we got to keep Dr. Fate, because it sucks that Dr. Fate had to be sacrificed for that. But I appreciate what Pierce did with that role. Somebody who has really never been in this type of movie before to come in and really just show how good of an actor he is. He's just such a good
Oh
actor.
man, his final line where he's talking about for the first time I don't see the future and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It gave me chills. I'm like,
it's cool.
oh,
But that's
so
gonna be a
good.
hell. It's
good.
gonna be a hell of a burden to live with, though. Is like you always see what's coming, constantly.
But it's only
True,
when he
'cause
touches the helmet, right?
I don't
Is
know.
when he sees the future. Because he always seems to be holding the helmet when anything is
Yep.
happening. I don't know.
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know. It just he just always because you would think that it would be really cool to see the future until you start constantly and you
see
can't get away from it, and you you
Oh.
see stuff that you wish you didn't see. Like he kept seeing his friend dying, and he's like, I figured out a way to change it.
But I also got to shout out Henry Winkler for his cameo as the other Atom Smasher, the former Atom Smasher.
Yes.
That was pretty
cool.
funny. Yeah, overall, just I was disappointed. I thought I mean I didn't go in this with high expectations, but I left kind of feeling a little let down just the way things went. I don't know if it's just my superhero fatigue and I'm just not feeling it anymore. Like I've been enjoying watching these like obscure horror movies or things that I don't watch all the time where I've just been consuming so much superhero shit that I'm just like, oh god. Maybe I'll give this a rewatch later on if it drops on a streaming service. I know it'll probably be on like HBO Max at some point in the next like 3-4 months, and maybe I'll give it a watch at home. But I was just disappointed. I just didn't feel great after watching it. But they got me, when Black Adam 2 comes out, I'm gonna go see it. I'm gonna see the new Shazam, even though I'm not really that excited about it. I'm really just not excited about DC period. Like even with the Flash, like just with everything going on with, the lead actor in that movie. I mean, the only thing I'm excited, the only thing that fuck them. Sorry.
All of them.
The only thing I'm excited for is Michael Keaton coming back as Batman in the Flash. That's kind of my thing that I'm excited for with DC.
Yeah, you remember when that was going to happen once before and then it didn't?
Yeah,
with Batgirl.
Another thing that just killed me because Brendan Fraser was going to be in that too.
Dude, was he?
Yes, he was going to be Firefly.
But he's already a character in the DC universe.
Who? Oh yeah, I don't think it's.
He voices Metal Man.
Oh.
No. Hey, speaking of that, okay, I want to do a prediction real fast for Flash. They're going to introduce Eobard Thawne, Reverse Flash, and he's going to fucking suck. And he's an amazing villain that they're going to shit all over. That's my guy.
I mean, at the rate they're going.
Eobard Thawne's dope shit, dude. Ridley, he was all about Reverse Flash when he was little.
Oh, yeah. I just worry with the new Shazam that they're going to mess it up with introducing the family.
The family was in the last one. I'm just pissed that Mr. Mind's not in it. He's at the fucking movie. I want the worm.
But they're going to be focusing more on.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I really am not excited for it.
Like that.
DC's just disappointing. DC's just very
Yep.
other than the Batman. I like where they're going with that because that's completely separate from this whole DCEU nonsense. Yeah. That's like the only DC property that I'm like excited about. Side note, the Paul Dano who plays the Riddler in the Batman just wrote a Riddler comic for DC called Riddler Year One, which is like the origin of his Riddler from the Batman, cool. And he wrote it with another guy, which is really cool. Like no one is. I don't think any other person who has done that has been the character in a movie and then just went on to write a comic that's based on their character. I mean, maybe there has been. Anybody who is huge into comics, let me know. But I thought it was really cool. I might pick it up just because the fact that I like Paul Dano. I think he did a great job as that character. When is
Sean O'Rourke going to write the Diddler Year One?
Oh, we'll have to talk to him about it.
The cover of that is really cool.
Yeah, I might have to pick it up. I don't read a lot of comics, but I gotta. There's two things I want to pick up. I got to pick up the special edition copy of Watchmen because it's my favorite graphic novel of all time.
Oh, good.
It's great. I can't wait to cover the movie as well because it's another favorite of mine. And then I definitely want to pick that up.
Our Watchmen graphic novel.
I had one, and with the amount of times I've moved and things get lost, and I have no idea where my copy is. I think my brother might have it, but they have they just came out with a special edition, I think like 6 months ago. It's got like added like stuff in it. So, and the movie, in my opinion, is a great adaptation. So
I think it's a good adaptation.
We should review that.
We will at some point.
We definitely will. All right, before we get off on too much of a tangent,
it's gone too long. We fucked up.
We're so far from this movie.
Yeah. This has been another episode of Fresh Cuts. Next week, we're going to be jumping into a streaming service movie. We're going to be jumping into the new stop motion picture the newest one by Henry Selick, the man behind The Nightmare Before Christmas, Coraline, James and the Giant Peach, and many others. Wendell and Wild, which just came out last Friday. We're going to cover that on our next Fresh Cuts. And then, of course, after that, we're going to be covering Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And then movies after that. I don't know what we got going on later on. I know that there's the Steven Spielberg autobiography movie that's called Meet the Feeblemans is coming out. And I really want to cover that because I'm a huge Spielberg lover, and it's literally a movie about his life, but not really.
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that.
Sweet.
Don't forget to check out our newest podcast episode on Friday where we talked about The Faculty from 1998. It's a good one, everybody. And that same day, we're going to be doing a live show over on our Twitch page, twitch.tv/Dissect That Film. So make sure to go check that out. 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be on Twitch, just having a chat, talking about the awesome month of October. We'll probably talk a little bit about September as well, since we didn't do a lot. We haven't done a live show in like 3 months, so maybe we'll just go through the last 3 months of what we've been doing, all the shows, and talking about things we're going to be doing in the future. I'm very excited about that, so make sure to check that out if you're not following us over there. If you don't watch us live, it will be on podcast services and on our YouTube channel the Monday after. So don't feel bad if you can't be there, but you should be there. Twitch.tv/Dissect That Film.
As long as Parker hits record.
As long as I hit record. You got that right. I appreciate everybody with all the love and support. You're the reason why we keep doing this. Thank you so much. But until next time, I am Brett Parker. That is Dan and Angela of DNA Gaming. We are Dissect That Film, and this has been another episode of Dissect That Film's Fresh Cuts. See you all again next time.